Guys, I've been here for 5 minutes and I've already broken something. Alright, well, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. I just need to grab something. Alright, so today my goal is to try and get my windshield as close to being installed as possible. I actually split this over 2 days because I got here a little later than I wanted to. But I'll show you exactly what I already did. So this is my 50-year-old windshield, and I have a piece of polycarbonate that I'm trying to replace this super thick double pane glass windshield with. But I tried to clamp it down, and this polycarbonate is actually really stiff because it's 1/4 inch thick. But so what I did was clamp it on the corner. Of course, I'm stepping on glass now, and snapped it. Poor windshield. Before I cut out the actual polycarbonate, though, I'm going to make a brace for the actual windshield itself. Ooh, fucking wheels. I'm gonna go ahead and actually move these real quick because I'm selling these. Love these wheels though. Okay, now I actually have some more room. So what I'm gonna do is add a brace in the center here, just to support the windshield because it curves so much. I've already drilled 2 holes, and I've ground away the carbon a little bit on this because it was kind of thick. And I have these braces. Hold on one sec. Let me go. And got these things, I think at like Jags or Russell or Summit. They're actually rear windshield braces. So this foam side right here sits against the windshield itself, and then you can add in supports. Like, see if this is sitting diagonal, you can add in rods that support it, but it's also nice and thin and aluminum. The only issue is it's a little too long, I think. It comes with like 3 in a box too, and they're super cheap. So the typical use of these guys would be a brace kind of like this for the rear windshield. I've already made my own out of carbon. This will get epoxied in eventually, but for right now it's just sitting. It does cup around this though, so it's really supportive. And I've got rib nuts holding the rear windshield on, so I can just unbolt the rear windshield and work on my fuel setup or whatever I need to do to get back here, because my hatch will not open because of all this madness. But the issue I have with these is that they're a little too long. You can kind of tell. But so what I need to do would be to take this and cut it down like this. I think I'll set this guy straight up. So I'll sit there. I'll sit there. I've drilled holes in it already. Well, the top already had a hole, but. And then my next step is just going to be to rivet this bad boy on. Since it sits behind the windshield and above this, I don't think it needs that much support to hold on it, because all the force from wind is going to be pushing it in. So I think this is the best way to mount this thing. tight. So now that we got the brace in, I'm gonna start cutting the windshield itself. But this windshield was a little bit small for how big the opening is, because it had like a really thick windshield gasket with it. So I'm gonna have no gasket really at all, maybe a very small one. But so what I'm gonna do is cut it like maybe ½ inch bigger all the way around, trim down from there, just so I know it's like the tightest fit I can get. Just kidding, guys. I wouldn't do that to you. I am going to play the second half of this whole video, so it is going to be kind of long, but just give me 1 minute right before I go into the second half. First off, I want to say thank you guys for watching this and subscribing to our channel and supporting us. It's like really, that's how we've gotten where we are now. But like I was saying in the coming back video, all of the ad revenue that we get from these videos is all going to Xavier now, to just support him and help him try and do this full-time instead of just the part-time stuff that we've been doing. I'm sure you've noticed in the past like 2 weeks since we made that video, we haven't made a video yet, but Xavier's been really sick and we've been stockpiling video footage and stuff like that. So we should have a bunch of good episodes coming up soon. This episode is not edited by Xavier, obviously. You can see the quality. It's edited by me on my iPad, wherever it is in the other room. But let me run an idea by you. If you're watching our channel, you're probably into project cars or have a project car of your own, or just into building stuff in general. And if you have a project car, you're gonna eventually need some parts. So what I would like to say is consider, instead of buying those parts that you were gonna buy eventually from a huge corporation, consider buying them from my website, industrygarage.com. Basically, what I started the company doing was just making flares, composite parts like for S2000s or for Lotus, Exige, E46, a couple other cars, the BRZ. And I'm going to continue. We're actually have some good videos on a new project that we have coming up soon that we're going to be building a whole kit for, which I'm pretty excited about. But I've also now teamed up with Turn 14, who we built a relationship over the past 2 years of building this channel. Like all of the turbo parts for my car are from them. But basically what they do is they're a wholesaler for hundreds of companies, and I have an account with them now, and what I'm going to do basically is just offer those parts that they sell for as cheap as possible, so you guys get a good deal, and then also so you can support the Datsun build and not have to buy a bunch of shirts you don't like unless you like the shirts. If you like them, sick, go buy a shirt. But I don't want you to feel pressure to buy a shirt you don't like because you want to support a build that you like. You know what I mean? So let me walk you through my website real quick and kind of explain everything. Okay, when you first log on to industrygarage.com, you'll see just my homepage, video of me building the Datsun, little info on the company, highlights, wheels, stuff like that. But if you go up here to the top to shop, you'll see on the left, there's all the cards I've actually started adding parts for, and then all of the actual items for all those parts are here on the right, well, in the center. But all the first couple parts on here, all the kits that I've made personally, like this Lotus kit. This is my buddy Corey's car. He actually let me have this thing for like a year pretty much to build this whole kit, which was awesome. One of my favorite kits. And that car actually got featured in Speed Hunters, which was pretty awesome because that was like, you know, one of the biggest companies I've been following since I was, you know, a kid getting into cars. And like my S2000 kit, this was the very first kit I ever designed when I had no idea what I was doing with composites. But followed by some Pandem kits, Stop Tech brakes, airlift performance stuff, airlift performance management kits with like different tank sizes, tank colors, airline sizes, all that stuff so you can configure your own kit. And basically I've just put all these parts on here with the lowest available like retail pricing that I'm allowed to put it for. But I can do discounts and stuff like that on top of that, hopefully. I'll have to check into that and see if that's allowed. But if the part that you're looking for is not on my website, which there's a good chance it's not because I don't have that many parts on here yet, just go up here to our brands. This is a list of all of the companies I'm a wholesaler for, like AEM, a bunch of huge companies, BBS, Competition Clutch, anything you can think of, honestly. Garrett turbos, Graham lights, everything. A lot of the parts that I have on the 240Z from the turbo build are from here. Also, all the Vibrant stuff, make exhausts, headers, manifolds, and Tycon. That's where we got all the stuff to build my titanium exhaust. But basically what you want to do is come down to the bottom, put in your name, email, and then the company of the part you're looking for, and the part number for that part. And then your shipping address, and click submit here at the bottom. And what that'll do is that'll send me an email, and I'm just gonna go ahead and search for the cheapest pricing I can get you with shipping added, and I'll send you that quote right over. Obviously, I can't really compete with any of these huge corporations with some of the deals they get from being direct wholesalers. But what I can do is I will try and price match as much as I can. So if you see something cheaper, send it to me, and I'll absolutely just try and get the cheapest pricing. Because I'd rather take less of a percentage in profit and let you have a better deal, because I don't want you to suffer for, you know, a couple bucks because you'd rather come to me instead of a huge company. So thanks for the time, and back to the video. All right, so that's my website in a nutshell. If you want to check it out, the link will be in the description, and I really appreciate it, you guys. If you're not into any parts or anything like that, just keep rolling, and thank you for watching. Before we get back to the second half of the video, I do want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors like Fortune Auto, best suspensions ever, hand built, Mishimoto, which they've been great, super, super helpful people, but especially Fiberglass. Fiberglass has really, I mean, gotten this car to where it is now. All of the carbon fiber on this car is from them. But on top of that, if you have any questions or anything like that, they have tech people there, and they're just amazing. And they're now officially a sponsor for us. So I really want to give a good shout out to them. They're awesome, awesome people. And if you want to make a carbon fiber part or composites part in general, Fiberglass, start with something cheap. They're the people to go to. So thank you, and back to part two. All right, it's a new day. I have a different shirt on. I actually had to cut the other day short because I killed all the batteries I had. But, so what I did was basically mount the window just for now with these little sheet metal screws. And then while it was all flush, I ran around and traced the inside lip with a Sharpie. So next what I'm gonna do is actually cut away that bit, peel it up, scuff it up a little bit, spray can that black so it looks, it'll look gloss black from the inside. Well, from the outside, sorry. I guess I'm from the inside too. And then what I'm gonna do is peel the whole thing after that, and we'll window urethane the inside, glue it into the actual window frame, use the screws just to hold it in place, and then once that's actually dry, probably like 24 to 48 hours after that, once it's fully dry, I'm gonna drill out the holes a little larger and use actual Allen head bolts with nylon locking washers. Nuts. Yeah, so let's cut some stuff. Okay, so next I'm actually just going to scuff up the exposed areas with some 320 grit sandpaper. So again, just these areas that are shiny. So I have something for the paint to stick to. There were a couple little nicks in the outer film on this from me just being rough with it when I was cutting it. But so I just, precautionary, I just took a little tape, covered them. I'm only going to be spraying the actual edges that need to get paint on them, obviously, but just in case. Just need to set it up on a stand and get spraying. Okay, so I've given this enough time to dry. Remember, this is going to be on the inside of the window. So this is actually the section that's going to be attached to the inside lip of the car itself. So this is obviously clean because it's freshly painted. So before I actually use any urethane though, I'm going to spray some of this wax and grease remover and wipe down all of the edges that I'm going to put urethane on. I'm going to put a dab of urethane on the windshield around just the outside perimeter, and then I'm going to do a dab around the outside perimeter of here, and then also one through the middle here. I've actually already laid the first dab, so we'll see how that goes. But for now I'm just going to wipe it down and then get to urethane. Clean rag. So the epoxy window urethane stuff I'm going to be using is 3M window weld. It's the same stuff we use to install all like windshields and stuff like that here at the body shop. So something we've used a bunch, and it takes like 24 to 48 hours to dry completely. Well, probably just 24 actually. But so I'm gonna run a bead around this and a bead around that, and then we'll screw it together. Okay, so the windshield is officially on. I'm gonna run around the outside edges. I've already wiped them and pushed them down at least with my finger to kind of get it all in the grooves. Then I'm gonna use a little bit of lacquer thinner, the rag, cleans it right up, as long as you do it before it dries. But like I said, it tacks up probably like 15-20 minutes, and then takes 24 hours to fully dry. So I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna come back tomorrow. Before I go tonight, gotta pull off that film. I've already pulled off the inside. I'll give you a little ASMR. Woo! Check back in tomorrow. All right, it's 24 hours later. All of this window urethane is all dry. It's super, super durable. It's great. It's got, doesn't matter how much pressure you put on it, you can barely move this at all. Polycarbonate is actually, if you're comparing thickness, it is 200 times stronger than glass, which is pretty cool. So what I'm going to do now is take out all of the screws that I had just holding it in for the time being while it's drying. And I'm actually going to drill the holes a little bit bigger, not that much bigger, but I have this little M4 hardware, little Allen head guys, and keeping in the all black theme, I got some black washers and black locking nuts. So all in all, murdered out. And you'll see a little bit of the you can see these guys. You'll see a little bit of the hardware on the inside of the dash, because the dash will sit right below it. So I wanted to be able to at least clean it up a little bit. So I'm just going to drill these out, throw the new hardware in, and then the windshield's done. Probably do a leak test and stuff like that later, but since this is done, we're going to move on to finishing the dash. Got a little head start on it last night, but that'll be next episode. So let's get rolling.